Hello and welcome back to the Pixel Street Podcast. This is episode 204. As always, I am one of your hosts, Joel Campos, and joining me is the man who refuses to unpack all of his boxes from his move about 2 months ago, John Hansen.
I'll get to them sooner or later. It's really all that is over there is my older consoles. I don't know where to put them right now. I want to set them up, but I don't know where I'm gonna put them because I have all my newer consoles here that I need for work, and I don't want to put them upstairs with my other TV. So I have to figure out what I'm gonna do with them. Still, that's why they're over there.
I thought you were gonna say like, oh yeah, those are just those boxes, yeah, just like all my pots and pans, my deodorant, my shampoo, all that kind of stuff.
No, I got that in within the first couple weeks.
The first couple weeks, all right.
Yeah.
Fucking gross. But anyway, follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street. Check out our pin tweet there where you can see an invite link to join our Discord. Um, let's play some Splatoon 3 sometime, eh? Join
Yeah.
us there if you're interested in playing Splatoon 3 with us. Um, other than that, subscribe to us on YouTube. We are at 368 subscribers, slowly growing over there. Let's hit 400 by the end of the year. That's the goal.
Yeah.
400 subs.
Hell yeah, we could do that.
But yeah, if you didn't know, that's where we post all of our videos, including every podcast every week. We stream it live there when we record it. Usually it's Wednesdays, but lately we've been doing Thursdays just because, like, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't realize it was Wednesday yesterday until like it was 4:30 ish, and I had already like committed my evening to doing something else. I was
In
like,
all
holy
honesty, you're
shit,
not the
it's
only one.
Wednesday. Like I was
I
like,
completely
it
lost
is
track too.
Wednesday today.
Yeah.
So yeah, we record live. Join us in the live chat as we record. But yeah, we post let's plays, unboxings. John analyzes everything Zelda that gets announced. So yeah, join us over there. This week we are mainly going to be talking about the Grand Theft Auto 6 leaks. That's kind of the big topic everywhere, all over the internet.
Yep.
So let's just get right into it. There was a huge leak over the weekend. I think there were 90 videos total, John.
It was either 90 videos or 90 minutes. I've seen people say like both ways, but
But
a
either way,
lot,
like there was a
a
lot.
lot.
Um,
Uh,
Basically, what if you didn't see it? What it was, it looked like a dumbed down version of GTA 5, more or less, right? Like it looked like an in development GTA 6, which is like okay, like that's what we all thought it was, right? Like it's
yep.
nothing that we
There.
saw was like mind breaking or like oh my god, you have to go see this.
Uh,
Um,
well, first thing we should say is Rockstar did confirm that this is all real footage. They did come out and say this is legit stuff. So we did get some confirmation on some earlier leaks. One, we know that there are two protagonists in the main story, a guy and a woman. And we also know that it is set in Vice City. That is now 100% confirmed, both of those facts, because we saw it. Right now, I believe Rockstar has been working to take down all videos and everything that was shown on the internet. There's probably some area that you can still find them. I'm sure people save the videos onto their own thing, so we'll probably see them pop up every now and then until the game actually releases. But this was a massive leak, definitely the biggest leak I can think of in video game history. Because
yeah, here's the thing: is like we hear about leaks every week, right? Like whether it's
mhm,
like Jeff Grubb saying that there's going to be Zelda remasters coming or something. Like that's not a huge leak, right? That's just him like this is what I've heard.
yeah,
This is like somebody fucking hacked Rockstar servers in some way or Slack or something wherever these files were located, hacked into it, retrieved all the files and then started posting them all online. Like
hmm,
that is a major. Like this isn't like your typical Jason Schreier reporting like, "Hey, I just found out that Halo Infinite was delayed a year" or something like that.
yeah,
And then a few days later or a week later, the Halo team's like, "Yeah, it's true. Like we're delaying the game." This is like, yo, here's where GTA 6 is. As of right now, probably right. Like it's early
hmm,
development. And I think the funniest thing that came out of this, I saw a tweet that's like, man, that almost looks like a completed Ubisoft game.
Yeah, one thing I want to talk about is really the reception these leaks got, because there's a lot of people that obviously don't understand video game development, because this is very early development. Let's get this right off the bat here. GTA 6 is not coming out for years still.
I
Like,
mean, I'd say at least 2 years out.
at least. My guess, just looking at this, knowing how big this game is supposed to be, and while we saw a lot, this is a very small percentage of what the final game should be. 2025 at the earliest for me is really what I'm thinking. Um, yeah, I don't. This game's not coming out anytime soon, but there's a lot of people that were talking crap about it because it looked bad, and the game's not anywhere close to being finished. Like, it's ridiculous
Yeah.
how some people are really getting all riled up over Grand Theft Auto just like not looking like Grand Theft Auto. And that's how every video game looks. If you pull up the link down below, after this all came out and people were like talking crap about it, some developers have been like posting early game footage, like showing how these games look. I've got a link from one of the guys from Control, uh, putting how that game looked early in development, and this game was recognized for how well it looked when it released. And
Well, I mean,
it's
there was a bunch of examples like
yeah,
Uncharted 4 posted one, Horizon Zero Dawn devs posted one where like it was just a woman holding a gun shooting at like a blocky dinosaur thing. He's like,
hmm,
"Look, we started the game. We were the Killzone guys, so naturally we had Killzone assets in the game at first."
yeah. So yeah, I personally I love seeing this early footage stuff. I think it's so cool to see.
I I
For
I think I think
someone,
it's I think it's cool how transparent all these devs are being now. Like, hey,
yeah,
this is what games look like early on. Like, if you think that looks bad, look at this heap of shit that we had 5 years ago or two
I
years before we released.
I want to see every video game after it releases. I don't want to see GTA 6 before it releases, but after it releases, I love seeing this kind of footage. Just seeing where they came from to where they ended up being. That stuff
John,
is so
if
cool to me.
would you pay? I'm trying to think. Would you pay like an extra $10 for like if the deluxe version of a game came with like dev diaries, so type like documentary thing with it?
No, because I feel like if you're going to include that, that should just be a special feature
Yeah,
in any way.
I
That's not an
agree.
extra price for me. I wouldn't pay extra for it. Included in the special stuff, though, I would love to see that. Yeah, no, I love this stuff. I love seeing like stuff from early days in Overwatch, how different that game was. That's one of my favorite games of all time. Like, this stuff is just so cool to me. I get that the casual crowd of gamers, they don't care. They just want to play Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, whatever. And the everyone is so very reactionary that when they see a game as unfinished as this is, they're like, "Oh, this isn't the Grand Theft Auto I know. This looks like shit. This thing's gonna be awful." When in fact, they've got so much work ahead of them where they're gonna refine everything.
Yeah. I think like what was the thing that the guy who leaked it all or hacked them or whatever said was like, "Hey, I'm willing to work with you, Rockstar." It's like, "No, motherfucker, you're done."
Oh, he's in big trouble because I guess he was also saying that he hacked Uber
Yeah,
earlier this
he, he
month.
he was he was involved in like Uber hacking that like
Yeah,
some other like a larger group was a part of. He was a part of the group.
yeah.
So
And now
like,
the
yeah,
FBI is over
the
them.
the
Yeah,
FBI's looking into it. Dude, if you have Rockstar and Uber coming at you, you're done.
that's a lot
No,
of money.
you're not getting out of that.
No. Yeah, good luck. Um yeah, well, how do you think this affects GTA 6 going forward? Because there was a lot of talk that this could cause the game to be delayed. If you want to pull up Rockstar's message, I believe they say that it's not going to be delayed, at least as of now. Um Here, I'll just read off their message. We recently suffered a network intrusion in which an unauthorized third party illegally accessed and downloaded confidential information from our systems. including early development footage for the next Grand Theft Auto. At this time, we do not anticipate any disruption to our live game services, nor any long term effect on the development of our ongoing projects. We are extremely disappointed to have any details of our next game shared with you all in this way. Our work on the next Grand Theft Auto game will continue as planned, and we remain as committed as ever to delivering an experience to you, our players, that truly exceeds your expectations. We will update everyone again soon, and of course, we'll properly introduce you to this next game when it is ready. We want to thank everyone for their ongoing support through the situation. Um, First of all, I don't think they're gonna update us anytime soon. Knowing Rockstar, it will probably be 2 years before we hear anything else besides leaks on Grand Theft Auto, like anything
Yeah,
official
I,
from them.
I feel like E3 or Summer Game Fest 2 years from now. That's when we see like a teaser
See,
trailer.
that's the thing. They don't do those big events. They just do them whenever they want. Like Red Dead Redemption was like randomly in March, I want to say. Like they stay away from that stuff. Even like all the other 2K stuff, they go in on those. Rockstar's just like, nah, you know what? We're one of the biggest names in gaming. We're gonna do it when we feel like it, and we're gonna draw in millions of people regardless.
Yeah, I don't think we see anything for at least 2 years.
Yeah. Do you do you think there's any like lasting effects on the game though coming from this?
I mean, I don't think so. Like, they're gonna do what they want to do, right? Like, they're not gonna take any criticism from people now. Like, it'd be dumb of them
Yeah.
to do that. Like, if somebody, if even if like a lot of people started complaining about a certain mechanic or something, I don't think it would be enough for them to be like, you know what, you're right. We should pivot this way a little bit, or you know what I mean. It's
Yeah.
Rockstar. They know what the fuck they're doing. Like, yeah, it looked a lot like GTA 5 in terms of mechanics and everything, but like, why the fuck wouldn't it, right?
Yeah.
It's it
I think we
GTA
all knew it
5's
would
like
be.
yeah, GTA 5's like the best selling game of all time. Like, why wouldn't they use the same formula, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's if anything is affected by this, it's going to be stuff that we don't see. It's going to be how they're making this game. I saw Jason Schreier saying that the work from home experience for Rockstar might be changed up because of this, to like kind of lock things down a little more. So that might happen. Um, if the game is delayed, I'll take them at their word here that this specifically won't affect their decision on delaying it. But Rockstar has been known to delay their game, so it just might be delayed later on anyway. People will probably point back to this at that time, but I I'm just gonna take them at face value for right now and believe that this won't affect them too bad.
Yeah, I mean, like, it would make sense if there was a delay of any sort. To be fair, I'm sure at this point they don't know exactly when the game's gonna come out. They probably have like a rough like year, right? I'd
Yeah.
say, or like a rough 6 month time frame of what they're projecting. Um, and so yeah, if it does move based off of this, I don't think it's something that we're gonna know about necessarily. If it does get delayed, I think it's because of something else further down the line.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes sense that they would, they would lock down in terms of work from home people, right?
Hmm.
Like I work from home, and like if my company just got hacked or something and we lost a bunch of stuff, they're like, hey, you can no longer access these files remotely. You have to come to the office to at least get the files, right? Then that that creates a major issue in like the way I work. So it would
Yeah.
make sense.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm going 2025 at the earliest. 2026 is probably the more likely date year for GTA 6.
Xbox Series, Xbox 360. That's what it's going to be called, right?
Oh baby, idea.
Xbox Series, Xbox
Oh, might as
360.
well. Yeah, you know what? Just combine all Xbox Series 361 or something.
I
Combine
don't know.
all the
I
names
I think you're onto something. And then they're gonna bring back the HDMI pass through for your cable box.
and HD DVD player.
Moving
Remember
on,
that?
John. EA wants Call of Duty to become an Xbox exclusive so that Battlefield can benefit. Um, I, dude, I don't think that this helps Battlefield benefit in any way.
Well, if you want, I have a quote from Andrew Wilson, CEO of EA here. He said, I don't, first, he's talking about how he thinks that Battlefield has been a bit of a letdown lately. And then at the end, he talks a little bit about Call of Duty. I don't think that we delivered in the last two iterations of that in the way that we should have. There's a lot of work we've got to do there, but but at its very core, it's an extraordinary IP. And what we've seen in the world of entertainment is that great IP is resilient. And we've seen movies, not live up to the expectations of franchises. Star Wars might be one of such franchise. Okay, look at him throwing out the Star Wars name after they failed Star Wars games. And then you can see what happens when you get the right creative team involved and how they can completely reinvent and grow a franchise. And I think we have an extraordinary creative team involved in Battlefield now. We have unbelievable ambitions to own the first person shooter space, particularly as it feels to creation. And in a world where there are questions as to the future of Call of Duty and what platforms that might be on and might not be on, being platform agnostic and completely cross platform with Battlefield, I think, is a tremendous opportunity. Joel, let's I 100% don't think Call of Duty will ever be an exclusive game. At the very least, it's not going to be anytime soon. I have a feeling you feel that too, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's going to be
Okay.
exclusive. And if it is,
Let's
like you said, I don't think it's anytime soon. If it does
let's
go exclusive, the only benefit Battlefield has is that they're the only, I guess, like first person army shooter on
mhm,
PlayStation. But
yeah.
their fucking reputation right now is pretty dog shit.
It is pretty bad. Yeah. My question was, do you think Battlefield will become the next big thing if that happens? Because Battlefield's big. Call of Duty and Battlefield are on two very different levels from marketing, sales, everything. Like, yeah, people talk shit a lot about Call of Duty because it's been releasing every year for 20 years now, something like that. Um, but do you see I if Call of Duty were ever to be an Xbox exclusive, do you see Battlefield ever reaching the heights of Call of Duty?
I don't see them ever reaching the heights. The only way I think that they can like gain ground is if Call of Duty does take a year off, and in that year, Battlefield has like the best game they've ever made,
Yeah.
right? Because like that would propel them like pretty far, right? If they came out with like literally an amazing fucking game in a year where there is no Call of Duty, I think that's the only way they can start like trying to catch up. But even still, like Call of Duty it's a juggernaut, right? Like there are people that like they have an Xbox or they have a PlayStation just to play Call of Duty every single year or just to play Warzone every new season, whatever it
Hmm.
may be. So like Call of Duty's like it's just that kind of game. You don't say the same things really. I'm sure there are people out there that buy a console strictly to play Battlefield or have a console just to play Battlefield on, but it's just not something that's heard of.
No, it's definitely not the same. Yeah, you're completely right. Battlefield would have to make a game out of their mind in a year that Call of Duty doesn't have a mainline release, which their only opportunity would be 2023 because we know the next Black Ops is delayed. Um, but we still have Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2 and Call of Duty Warzone Mobile, and they've still got all this stuff coming out still. It's going to be such a hard time for EA to make up that ground in such a short time. Um, yeah, I've never been the biggest Battlefield fan to begin with. Um, I just it's just never been to for me really. It's too slow for me,
So
honestly.
my thing is like I love Battlefield games. Like I only love playing them though in groups of people because it is like you said a slower game. So if I'm playing with a friend at least one friend, it makes it more enjoyable, right? It's like yo, let's hop in this helicopter and see what we can do.
Oh yeah,
Um, but like Battlefield was it 2042 is what it's called, right?
yeah.
um, when it came out, it was so bad to where like it just turned me off. Right, the game
Mhm.
now, like I've gone back and played recently, and it's like it's a pretty good game. Like I enjoy it a lot, but the fact that it was so bad at launch is kind of why it didn't stick with me. Like that's why I don't play it anymore. It's just because it had a terrible launch. It was not like a very good game. Um, and like yeah, they fixed it a bunch, but like I don't know, that hype's kind of gone for me.
Yeah, it's really gone. I can't believe that they haven't put it on EA Play and Game Pass yet. To
That's
try
pretty
and
wild.
build up that player count again. Um, regardless, so it's yeah, I don't see them ever coming sniffing anywhere near Call of Duty. Um, it's Battlefield will always have its fans because I mean there's people that are way bigger fans than you that they play this every time, and this is like the only game they play all year. But that number is so much smaller than the Call of Duty fans to me that it's just not something that's going to happen.
I agree. Next topic, and last topic of the main news. EA Motive is making an Iron Man game. They announced this 2 days ago, I think, 3 days ago, maybe.
Yep.
Um, didn't they say it's a single player game, right? Single
Yeah.
player Iron Man game.
I believe that is all they said. It's just a single player Iron Man game. They did not give um any other clues or hints as to what it could be. Um EA Motive, if you don't know, they're the ones making the Dead Space remake, reboot, whatever it is, and they also worked on they did Star Wars Squadrons and they did the outer space fights in Star Wars Battlefront 2. So this will be their third solo project, I believe. Yeah. So we got that going for us. I don't think I played very little of Battlefront 2. I don't know if I ever played the outside stuff. I never played Squadrons. I probably won't play Dead Space. So I don't know like how this game will look at all. But
I mean,
if you were
Squadrons is pretty good aesthetically.
is it
So is
okay?
Battlefront. Battlefront 2 is pretty good looking game.
I will say I'm pretty excited for an Iron Man solo game. Like that's awesome. This is like the thing we were always saying about Anthem is hey, Anthem looks like an Iron Man game. Hopefully they can nail that, but that was also a completely different team,
Yeah, no, here's my thing is I hope that they like step one for them has to be like get somebody from BioWare over that worked on that to be like,
right?
"Hey, how do we make what we're doing feel like this?" Like in
Yeah.
terms of the flying and everything because
Yeah.
that game
That's
Anthem as bad as it was, the flying was the most fun thing in that whole game and it was
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. So if you can transfer that into this I almost said Star Wars, this single player Iron Man game, like that's the perfect scenario for this game. Uh don't I if it's a single player game, I highly doubt they'll put any like microtransactions and live service stuff into it. And that's what this game needs to be. They need to focus on that going forward, like they do with the Star Wars Fallen Order. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Just keep focused on the single player nature of the game, and it should be fine. I don't think I want like a huge open world, but I don't know, man. I'd be cool with like a like maybe not a linear game, maybe like semi open world. You know, what I mean? I just don't want like a massive like Assassin's Creed open world
You
to
see,
fly around in.
that's what I do want in an Iron Man game. Like he's a very mobile character, so I would
He
love to have
is,
that. And like, here's my thing: is Disney like they're being very selective. Like, I think after Battlefront 2, they're very much like making sure that the company making a game is going to do what they want them to do, right? So that kind of gives me hope because like, Spider Man was amazing. Miles Morales was great. Um, Avengers, this campaign was amazing. I loved that a
hmm
lot.
yeah,
Like the multiplayer was fun to play through one time, right? Like I'm not. I don't think it was great in terms of like a game as a service going back over and over again. But like me, I think me and you played through one or two of the DLCs together, right?
yeah,
Until I couldn't advance any further,
yeah.
which I'm still pretty salty about.
I
But
do love this future where there's all these Marvel games that are exciting and they're not connected to the movies. Even what's the Fire Axis game that I keep saying looks amazing, but I know I won't play it.
Midnight Suns,
Midnight Suns. Yeah, like even that, I'm like, man, I want to love that game so much because it looks so cool. That's such a cool idea, and like that's just really awesome. Just a few years ago, we weren't saying that about Marvel games. It was okay. Well, there's none out right now. Let's look back at the Activision games with Deadpool and the Spider-Man games, where yeah, you like them because those were Marvel characters, but they weren't really the greatest games. Now we are legitimately seeing like great Marvel games coming out, which is just awesome to me.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely exciting. John, take me through the quick news.
All right. First up, PSVR 2 will not be backwards compatible with the first PSVR games, which sucks. I get it, Joel. It really sucks for you, but I also really understand it. With sorry, my dog. Talk about PSVR real quick.
In my opinion, I don't see why this would be that big of an issue. Like I can already plug in my PSVR 1 headset into my PS5 and play those games. Um, I just don't understand why. It should be up to the developers to make it
It's the camera.
be able to play.
It's the camera's fault because the PSVR 2 has all the motion tracking and everything built into it. The PSVR 1, you need that camera, you need the sticks, whatever they're called, to for it to function.
Well, no,
That's why it's ruined.
that's why I'm saying it should be up to like the developer of the game to make that an update of some sort. Because
Oh
I know what's
yeah,
going to happen now is now the developer of the game's just going to like Beat Saber, for instance. They're going to
yeah.
be like now compatible with PSVR 2, but then you're going to have to buy a whole new version of the game and all the
Hmm.
new DLC probably, which is really shitty because I've sunk a lot of money into Beat Saber on my PS4.
Yeah, I I would hope, at least in the case of Beat Saber, that they would at least give you a discount. But
Yeah, I don't know.
do you
And
remember how
here's
much
the
that
other
was
thing.
originally? Like $20?
I think the game itself is like $20, but each DLC you buy is like anywhere from like $10 to $17. So,
Mm,
and like I've bought a lot of them just because I like playing the game a lot and I like a lot of music. So, and the other things is like a game like Beat Saber, right? Or a game that's on multiple different VR headsets. Most of the other headsets already, like the Quest, already has that technology where it tracks from the goggles. So you would
mhm.
think that they would at least have a step in the right direction to like port that, because like you're crazy to like anybody would be crazy to think Beat Saber would not be compatible on PSVR 2 in some way, whether it's you have to buy a complete new game or like they let you upgrade for free, who knows. But yeah, just no backwards compatibility just sucks as a whole because I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of games, like great VR games, that might die on PlayStation because of it, right? Because whether maybe the developer doesn't exist anymore or they just don't want to put the time in to fix it because they don't see the, monetary outcome of it benefiting them. So, yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah,
think it's shitty. Anytime something's not backwards compatible nowadays, it sucks.
yeah, it sucks. I think a lot of this plays into how there was such a lack of forward thinking for Sony when they made the first
Yes.
PSVR, and how they were, which is really just the case with Sony in general in a lot of cases. But
John,
yeah,
I have like the way the PSVR 2 has like been announced and we've been like slowly getting information is so bizarre to me. Like
we
so
still don't know
bizarre.
when it's coming out, and we don't know how much it will be.
Well, we know it's early 2023. We don't know how much
Yeah,
it'll be. And I
500.
yeah, it's going to at least be the same price as the disc PS5.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But like 2 days ago, they just randomly dropped a video, like a short little video showing like, oh, 4K, 100 or 60 hertz or whatever, 110-degree field of view. It's like, yo, like just fucking have an event and talk about it. And like, was it last week that it was just like they were just like, oh yeah, we invited a bunch of media to come check it out. But like
Yeah.
they didn't really like all they did was just talk about like the games that they had played. Like I
Hmm.
don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird as a whole.
It is weird. All right, moving on. The Super Mario Brothers movie is set to come out in theaters in April. There will be a first trailer reveal next month. So we'll finally get to hear Chris Pratt's Mario voice, whatever it
Uh,
is that he's
It so
working
it
on.
it has to just be Chris Pratt's voice. Like he can't be
I
trying to
don't
do
know.
like a Mario
I don't know.
thing.
He said it's different, so we'll see. We will see. Gearbox is turning Tiny Tina's Wonderlands into its own franchise. They were really happy with the sales from Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and yeah, I get it. That game was just fine to me. That didn't blow me away or anything, but cool. I like Tiny Tina. I love Dungeons and Dragons. Give me more of that. All right. Xbox is staying firm on the fact that Xbox Series X and S are not going up in price. This is after recent like PlayStation 5 price hikes in other countries. Sean Layden, speaking of PlayStation, has joined Tencent, which is a move I did not see coming. I don't know what he's doing over there, but yeah, this was like
I think
before
I think
the
he's a consultant,
is he? Okay.
which
Uh
to me sounds like they're giving him just a shit ton of money to say that he's a part of Tencent.
yeah, something like that. Anytime I see something joining Tencent, I get a little weary.
Well, him joining Tencent reminds me of how Reggie joined GameStop, where like he
Yeah.
joined them to advise, and then like was just like, yeah, I'm done here. Like
Hmm.
he made his money.
Yep. And then ending off our quick news, Logitech has announced a handheld cloud-only device for $300. It is Game Pass compatible and everything. Which when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, that looks cool. And then I saw $300 for a handheld game or cloud-only device, and I was like, oh wait, no, that's not cool at all. Because
Here's
yeah, only things you can actually download on it are things from the Google Play Store.
yeah. So if you have an Android phone, you can do everything this thing can do on your phone already.
Yep,
Just buy a backbone controller or some sort of attachment.
the Razer Kishi.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, even if you have an iPhone, most of those Android apps and everything are going to be on your phone anyway.
Yeah.
The other thing is it's $300 only for a limited time. Then it goes up to $350.
Hmm. Yeah. No,
So
I personally don't see the value in this. I at
I
first I did, and then I saw, oh, whoa, 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 no.
and like the other benefit to doing this on your phone versus on this device is that this device only works via Wi-Fi. You could play Game Pass or XCloud, like wherever you are if you have good enough cell service. So
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know who this is for. It seems
No.
like they I don't know. To me, it seems like they started making it and then got too far, and they're like, "Well, we got to put this thing out to get some sort of money out of it." To be,
Yeah.
that being said, it looks cool. I think it looks
Oh
cool. The
yeah.
screen looks huge, which I appreciate, but
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
All
don't
right.
know, John.
Uh, we might have a bit of a short show this week, Joel. What are you playing?
Um, so I have not played anything, John. Um,
Oh, nothing at all.
I I played exactly 2 matches of the Modern Warfare 2 beta.
Hmm. What'd you think? We can talk about
It
that because I played
it,
that as well.
it feels slow, like
It does.
a lot slower than Modern Warfare 1. Like when I started sprinting, I don't know if it's like I don't know what it is. Like it's like your arm movements look like you're moving faster than your body is as a whole. I don't know if that's the issue or if like they just need to speed it up a little bit, but it definitely feels super fucking slow.
Yeah. I didn't notice a huge drop off, but I did notice that's a little slower than I'm used to with Call of Duty. Maybe it's just because I haven't played much Call of Duty multiplayer in years, but it did feel a little off. They did change a lot of things, like the way perks are handled is now they're all in a group and you unlock them during a match. And I wasn't crazy about that. I would rather have just my 3 perks that I choose, have them at all times. I don't want to unlock 4 over the course of a match. I'm not a big fan of that. The way the guns that they had in there were cool, although there was only like 6 or 7 that you could actually play with, probably more than that, but like all of like the attachments weren't in the game. There was like 3 guns that I could actually put attachments on. The other ones were just base guns. I'm like, well, if I can't put attachments on this, I'm not going to put time into it because I'm not getting used to how I'm going to play with this gun later. So yeah, the beta was fine to me. Uh, there was 3 maps I want to say. There was some hotel one, the one that they were talking about at the event last week, and then something else, and they were all just fine to me. It was all in all, it was like okay, yeah. this is Call of Duty. They changed some things up that I wasn't crazy about. Some other things I'm like, okay, this is kind of the same. It is what it is. Everyone's gonna play it. Everyone's gonna be happy. But yeah, it's just an okay game in my opinion.
I think I'm more excited for Warzone 2.
I
Um,
think I am too. And I'm not much of a battle royale guy. Like I'll play them every now and then, but I think they haven't shown much of it, but from what they have shown, I feel like that game has a much bigger chance to make the big leap forward from the first game, especially with like the way they're handling the circles and how they like split up and everything. Like
yeah.
that's really cool stuff for a battle royale. Modern Warfare 2, I mean, we all knew going in that this wasn't the original Modern Warfare 2, but it just I don't know. It's just fine. That's really all I have to say. It's better than Vanguard at least. Vanguard was eh.
When
I
does
at least
Warzone 2 come out?
November 15th, 16th. It's like the middle of November.
November 16th. Is that the same day as Modern Warfare 2?
No, Modern Warfare 2 is in October.
Oh,
So,
oh,
yeah,
okay,
you're
yeah.
going to have to wait a couple weeks, but yeah.
Sorry, I was just looking up release dates.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for Warzone 2 more than Modern Warfare 2, I think. Um, just because I like Warzone a lot. I think it's a ton of fun, especially with friends.
Yeah. All right. So I've got a few games I've been playing lately. I'll start off with Slime Rancher 2, which released in early access today. It's on Game Pass, so if you're a Slime Rancher fan, you can play it. I played very little of the first game. I'm only playing this for guide coverage. And from what I've seen, it feels the same, just in a different location with new slimes and everything. So if you're a Slime Rancher fan, you'll like it. Me, I'm like,
What is
nah.
Slime Rancher?
So you're on some alien planet filled with all these like different slimes. You grab them and create a farm, and you collect they're called plorts, and they're made from feeding them. So it's really just you're collecting their shit and then you're selling it for money to upgrade your farm. So
All
yeah,
right,
that's what it is. It
sounds
I
about right.
there's a there's probably some ravenous community around it that really love it. It it's a farm game that you can chill
So
out
hold
to.
on, one question, John.
Hmm.
These slimes fucking?
I mean, probably. I don't know. I have seen them like eat each other. Maybe that's how they fuck. I don't know.
Well, I'm asking like if like do they create new slimes?
I
Like that's
haven't
what I'm
seen any.
asking. I
I
didn't know
haven't
if that
seen
was an
any yet.
objective.
I don't think so. Like I said, I've only seen them eat each other, and when they do, the one that eats them like it's really big, and then like turns into a variant of what it was before and what it ate. So yeah,
Okay.
um, yeah, it's all right.
Okay.
I've also these other two games I haven't put a ton of time into because I haven't they haven't really caught me. First is You Suck at Parking, which is a little indie game on Game Pass right now. It's a game where you control a car from like a overtop perspective, and you're supposed to park it in these different spots around this map. But it's like an obstacle course. There's like punching gloves and explosives and everything, and you can't reverse. You can only accelerate. Um, so if you like try and stop and you like hit the brakes, you're done. Your run is over, and you have to be in the spot where it was where your car stopped. The single player was not very fun to me. I only played one round of the campaign, and I was like, okay, this isn't fun. I jumped on the multiplayer though and played a few games there, and that was actually pretty fun because you have everyone trying to do it at the same time, and it's chaotic. So it was pretty fun. If you have Game Pass, I'd say give it a try with a friend or something. I wouldn't recommend going through the campaign. Metal Hellsinger, which is that Doom game, well, the game like Doom that has all the heavy metal and the beat mechanic that you're supposed to go with. And yeah, I love Doom. I love what this game is going for. Trying to play Doom with a beat mechanic is too much for me. I can't do it. I focus too much on the beat itself, lining up so I get the most damage out of my shots and everything, and it just like completely takes my mind off like the movement and stuff. I, it's just not a game I'm gonna go back to. So yeah, that kind of disappointed. I didn't like it as much as some other people do, but give it a try. I guess it's also on Game Pass. Did you have anything else to talk about? If not, I can go into my last game.
I did not. I want to get back to A Plague Tale, but I didn't buy it yet, and I don't know if I want to spend like $30 to play like the last 4 hours, 5 hours of a game.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I finished off Cult of the Lamb, and that is one of my favorite games of the year. I'll say that. I was very impressed with it. When people were first talking about it when it first released, I was kind of skeptical because I heard roguelite stuff from it, and I was like, oh man, I just you and me have talked about it a lot. We're not big roguelite fans. Like, yeah, we'll play them, but it's just not something that grabs us. This one got me. Uh, Maybe because I never died or anything, because I think I lowered the difficulty, but just like running around and the combat felt great. Building up your cult and upgrading it felt great. I loved just spending time there gathering the devotion so I could upgrade my cult. It was really good. The one problem is that I was constantly having to reset the game because it would just freeze in like menus, which is something that happened a lot in Saints Row too. So that was like very close games that were just freezing whenever I would go in the menus, which sucks. But besides that, I highly recommend the game. I think it would be great on Game Pass for people to try, but it's not, so you have to buy it. Um, I know you were saying you liked it as well, but you weren't really far into it. I think you should just go full head in on that since you're not playing a Plague Tale anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like I'll play a Plague Tale. I just want to wait for like a sale or something.
Yeah, I
It like
gotcha.
I just can't justify it in my head. How much is
Hmm.
that is a Plague Tale? Like $30?
I don't know. If you're looking at digital, it's probably something like that. May even be more if it's not on sale. If you got
40 bucks.
a physical copy would be like $10 at most. So you go to GameStop every now and then, go there and see if they have it. I remember back when I worked at GameStop, it was like 15. It's got to be like 5 to 10
It's
now.
it's $19.
All right, it went up
You're
in price.
wrong. It
There's
went up.
inflation.
And here's the thing about it too is like they like don't have it in stock at GameStop. It's like crossed out.
Oh, yeah. Well, that'll get you.
So oh,
No.
mm, oh, I'm looking at CD
Oh.
keys. Hold on.
Oh.
Hold on.
Okay. Joel, I think this can wait.
No, it cannot. No, that's a PC key. Never mind. Anyway, that's going to conclude episode 204 of the Pixel Street podcast. As always, follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street. Check out our pin tweet there for an invite to join the Discord server. Follow or subscribe to us on YouTube by searching for Pixel Street videos over there. We post all our podcasts, let's plays, unboxings. John's been breaking down a lot of game trailers, so yeah, go subscribe to us there. Um, Leave us any and all feedback, good or bad. We genuinely appreciate anything you have to say that can help us make the show better. John, where are you at on the internet?
On Twitter, I am at Revik Shadows, and you can find my writing on GamePer.com.
Cool. You can find me on Twitter at Campo63 or twitch.tv/Campo63. We'll probably be streaming some Warzone 2 when it drops, since I know John's
Whatever.
excited for it now. But
Yeah,
I mean, it could be a game
it,
that like we end up not liking, but
it could be.
we'll see. We'll be right back here next week with episode 205 of the Pixel Street podcast.
Bye.